Hi guys, I wanted to go over our stretching in kind of a follow along style so that way you can plug this into a workout that you're doing at home and just kind of follow along with the video if you want to. But I'm also going to talk through how we do the stretches so maybe you can review at home if you're not getting everything you can out of the stretches. So our first stretch, I got a little timer here, so I'm going to kind of keep us on the same timing, 30 seconds per stretch. So I'm going to talk as fast as I can as we go through this. So this will be about should be about 8 minutes of stretching that we've got here. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to start my timer. Our first stretch, we're laying down. We're going to grab a hold of the knee and pull it towards us. You want to try to keep some arch in your lower back. So keep a little bit of space under your lower back there as you're pulling that in, because it's very similar to the squat. In the squat, we want to keep that back straight, almost arched, but not quite. So really straight. You're pulling that in, and when we have that, you're going to get that pressure in the hip there. Otherwise, what happens sometimes if we have this leg bent and we pull too much, we start to actually rock our hips, roll our hips up, pressing our lower back down. It actually puts pressure in our discs. We want to see if we can not do that. So we're going to switch legs. So I'm grabbing hold of the hands there. I'm trying to pull the toes back on this leg. This bottom leg is out straight, extended as I'm doing this stretch. So I got a little space under my lower back. Squeezing back in there and getting as much stretch as I can. Some of you who are really flexible may not feel much on this, but there's a lot of us who are going to feel quite a bit on this stretch. Do not hold down here on the stretch because it puts a little pressure on the knee. If you want to, you can even hold behind if you want to have less pressure on the knee. So we're done with that one. Then we've got the seated pretzel stretch. So I'll scoot back here a little bit. We're going to cross the leg under. We're going to bring the other leg over the top, and you can start with your hand on the ground. I want you to straighten your back out. Get your spine straight. It doesn't need to be straight up and down, but straighten your back out. And then from there, you're going to try to push your way back more vertical, so this cheek is coming more and more on the ground. So as you got that, if you're still more flexible, you're not getting enough stretch yet, you can even release that arm and bring it here and grab the opposite knee and pull that towards you. So that was 30 seconds. We'll switch sides. So cross under there, bring over the top. Now for me, I'm flexible enough. Some of you need to be laying out here and you're going to get lots of stretch. Stay with that. Don't go farther than that. Just slowly progress farther than that. So some of you can come in here. If you need to make it even harder, you're going to bring that foot closer to your hip and sit up nice and tall. Really try to lengthen and tall. That's a little bit more than I need. So I'm going to bring that back out. And you're going to pull this leg like you're hugging this leg to you. So you're getting that hip stretch right in through here. So we've got that one done. We're up to a standing. We've got the tricep stretch. I'm going to hook this to me here. And we're reaching over the top, opening up the armpit, abs in tight. So we get that stretch in the back of the arm here. Now when we do this, there's a tendency to start arching our back. We need to tighten our abs so we don't do that. And then we actually get the tricep stretch and even some stretch down the side here a little bit. Try not to throw your head forward either. I have a tendency to do that. You gotta stay up nice and tall. Other side. So abs tight, pressing, opening up the armpit there. So opening up, create as much space in there. You're gonna feel that stretch here and here. Really good. If we get this more loosened up, our rotator cuff will thank us. We can move our shoulders better. So, and it will decrease some of our soreness when we have a good stretch. So, a little moment. I think I explained that one as good as it needs to be explained. All right, so that's good. Now we're doing a standing hamstring. So we used to do a laying down one. We're going to try a standing one, see if that gets us some better results here. So we're going to chest out, butt out. I got my kind of like I'm trying to trip somebody a little bit, and I'm tipping from my hips. My back is very straight. I'm not bending forward towards the stretch. My back is straight, and I'm pressing into that to get that hamstring stretch. You can almost think like you have a dial on your hips, and you're turning that dial, and that's getting you to tip more. All right, other side. So I'll show you here. Well, I guess maybe I'll show you the other side just from here. So just in case it gives you a different idea of what's going on. So chest out, butt out, pulling the toes back. And when you're thinking about it, you're going to think like you're trying to lift your tailbone up behind you, and that's going to create even more hamstring stretch. Try to pull your toes back towards you while you're doing this, and you'll get this great tightness from your heel all the way to your butt cheeks. Now keep that back straight. Make sure you don't slouch. Don't shrug your shoulders either. We're trying to keep good posture in the other parts of our body as well. So we've got that. Now we've got a hip stretch. This one's tricky, so we'll see what we can do. You got a little stagger stance, both heels are on the ground, abs are in tight. Imagine like you have a belt buckle here, and you're gonna tip your hips up towards you. You're gonna almost lean back a little bit and press this hip forward. So you're strong and straight through the back leg, pressing the hip forward, slight lean back. So we're creating this bend right at the hip. Not a bend in the back where we're arching, but we're at the abs tight, so it's a bend in the hip here. So we shift forward to create that stretch right in there. All right, and the other side, you got the setup. It's not a big stance, abs in tight. We tip back, or maybe a little bit lean back, but it's tipped from the hips here, and we're pressing into that. Strong and straight in the back leg. Feel the stretch right along in here. It may not be horrible, but you feel this tightness right through here. And now when we sit a lot, this area gets tight quite a bit. So we're adding this one in to see if we can counteract some of our sitting time. So we'll see if these help us out a little bit. Keep those abs nice and tight. All right, the next one is a standing quad. It's going to be best to probably go to a wall for this. I'm going to do a freestanding because the wall's not that close by. So you're going to grab a hold here. You're going to have one hand on the wall to help you with balance. Abs in tight. You're going to point the knee down to the ground, and you're going to try to press your hips forward as you do this. Keep the abs tight so you're not arching your back to do that. But a lot of people will stand here like this and be like, I don't have much stretch. Well, go ahead and press your hips forward there as you're doing this, and then you'll get some really good stretch. So we'll get the other side there. Point the knee to the ground, abs in tight. Push the hips forward to get the maximum stretch there. Really good stretch. You can almost imagine like you're trying to get the bottom of your foot to the back of your head. Oh, I knocked myself off balance with that one. So make sure you're focused there and use the wall and when you have a wall nearby there. So we've got that stretch going here. Abs in tight, point that knee down, pushing the hips forward. Good strong stretch through that thigh. All right, the next stretch, I'm actually going to go to the wall. You may not be able to see me very well, but I'll talk you through it. So I got one foot back a lot. I got both hands on the wall. I'm dropping that heel down to the ground, and I'm going to bend this front leg. I'm bending the front leg towards the wall, and that's going to make this left leg stretch more. Make sure that the foot on the back, that back foot is turned at the very least straight. Sometimes maybe even a little angled in. Usually when we start it, it's angled out. So try to straighten that foot up as you do this stretch. It's a big calf stretch there. All right, other leg. So up against the wall here, dropping that heel down, straight back leg, bend the front leg to get more and more stretch. Woo! It's almost like you're trying to push this wall over there, or almost like you're pushing one of the sleds. So our calves can get very, very tight, and most of us have very, very tight calves. It makes it tough to get low on the squats. It makes us more likely to have calf pulls, and it just generally doesn't really feel good. It can affect our back and neck and all sorts of crazy things just ricocheting through our body. So there's that stretch. Then the last one is the chest stretch. You can think of it almost like the field goal squeeze. You step forward with the outside foot, and you're using the wall to create a little bit more stretch. So you've got this field goal squeeze feeling, and you've got the hand up on the wall, and you're stepping one foot forward into it, and you're almost like you're reaching back extra through there and using the wall to create a little pressure by turning away from it. And try the other side. So we got the stance, the split stance. So we're by the wall. We got this hand on the wall now. We got the foot farther away from the wall is forward, and you're doing that field goal squeeze, and you're reaching back, and you're using the body, you're leaning into it and turning away to get that chest stretch to happen. To get the most chest stretch there. Make sure your shoulder's not coming up here, you're not driving forward. Sometimes people turn too far on this and they put it in the wrong place. So chest out, good posture, and turn away. Get that field goal squeeze feeling as you're doing this stretch. So that is our series of stretches. I talked really, really fast, but hopefully you can replay this and you can use this as a way to do your stretches, a reminder for a lot of the coaching techniques, and a way to practice so that when you're in class, you can do them even better. So we wanted to change these stretches up. I'll give you a quick why, because I think we can get better at our stretching. I think people were kind of going through the motions, they weren't getting those positions as well, and I think we can get even more benefits from the stretching. Flexibility is a huge part of our fitness, and if we can improve that, everything feels better. If you're flexible, you feel younger. So we want to use this time, we invest this time in our bodies to get younger feeling, because when we feel younger, you know, we're going to act younger, we're going to go faster, we're going to go harder, we're going to do all sorts of great stuff, and life is just working better. So that's one reason why we're going to give this a shot and see if these stretches give us that extra benefit that we're looking for. So this is Jeremy Barnett saying have fun and be safe.